What's up everyone, this is FP6 bringing you some Go Battle League battles here in the Ultra Remix Cup. Hope you all are doing well, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing a team where I take a pretty solid core of a dark type being Mandibuzz and then a poison type being Nidoqueen and put Typhlosion kind of as the flex pick in the middle. And I think Typhlosion really has a lot of nice play against some of the typical XL Pokemon that you'll be running into in the Ultra Remix Cup. As we know, Ultra Remix, out of all of the cups available and all the leagues available in Go Battle League, is probably one of the most devastating ones in terms of XL Pokemon. These Pokemon are always the Pokemon that are going to perform very, very well. And when Niantic bans the top 10 or 20 most used Pokemon, typically those end up being a lot of the more affordable options for players, like those starter Pokemon like Swampert and Empoleon and Charizard. And so what you're left with is all of these really, really bulky and overpowered XL Pokemon that perform really, really well. So, but Typhlosion is one of these kind of core breakers of like the Alolan Ninetales and Jellicent core that is very, very popular. Shadow Claw on Typhlosion is going to be hitting Jellicent for super effective, and you do have that Solar Beam nuke if you're able to successfully shield bait. And depending on how much energy advantage you get when you swap in your Typhlosion, you can actually beat the Jellicent, assuming that they're not running Bubble Beam and you get baited. You can actually just beat them going straight Blast Burn because of how much damage that Shadow Claw does over time. My Mandibuzz is a hundo and it is maxed out and best buddied, but my Typhlosion's IVs, I don't remember the specific spread, but I know that it is not very good. It's just the only Typhlosion I have for Ultra League. So at some point in time I would like to make a better Typhlosion that's a little bit bulkier, and my Nidoqueen as well is a hundo, so I definitely need a better IV spread on that. But let's just jump into these battles and I'll kind of showcase how this team has been performing. This team has been doing really well for me. I've gained almost 200 points since I've started using it. I'm getting close to the 2600s, and I just once again have not been able to battle nearly as much with the new job and everything. But today is Go Battle Day. Feel free to tune into my stream today. I'll be streaming with my buddy Jonathan Kelly, and we'll be doing some battles for the Go Battle Day here, but I'll probably be using this team a little bit today as well. So I'm able to snarl down that Deoxys. Mandibuzz is a really, really solid option in Ultra League just in general. You don't have that fighting type weakness that you would have if you were running Umbreon. And so the fighting type damage hits you for neutral, but this rock type damage from like G-Fisk and Excadrill do hit for super effective. Here's a prime example right here of Typhlosion having Shadow Claw really benefits in this matchup here. There are some scenarios where Incinerate is nice on Typhlosion, say if you're stuck against an Escavalier, because otherwise that Drill Run is really threatening and you're not able to hit for super effective damage with your fast move. But I really think Shadow Claw is the way to go for this Ultra Remix Cup, just because of the ghost types that are floating around out there. Drifblim, Jellicent, Giratina, Origin, you're able to hit for super effective damage and hit for neutral damage against water types or opposing fire types. So really nice there. Typhlosion cleaning up, able to take that battle there. Oh, this game, my app crashes right off the bat. And so I'm trying to get back into the game. My opponent has been doing fast moves the whole time, so they're probably capped out at 100 energy here, but I don't blame my opponent. It's just unfortunate when that kind of stuff happens in GBL. I have not had my app crash on me in a long time, so I was in disbelief when that actually ended up happening. But thank goodness this Escavalier does not have Mega Horn. Aerial Ace is really not that threatening. Mega Horn would be way worse in this matchup. I was hoping that I could snipe down this Escav with my Typhlosion and avoid getting hit by a move, but that did not happen. Out comes Ampharos. I know that I survive a Thunder Punch, so I'm trying to CMP tie this Ampharos on the Focus Blast. And we'll see what I end up doing here. I'm going to let this Thunder Punch go through because I know that I can survive it. I'm able to get to another Blast Burn here. And they double shield, and they're going to commit to the farm down. The beautiful thing about Nidoqueen is that I'm going to totally resist all of this energy, unless, of course, they're running Dragon Pulse, or if this was a purified Ampharos, the threat of return would be scary as well. We see Akita here, and unfortunately, I have to shield this Leaf Blade because I need to get this Aerial Ace damage off. I know that Gallade is not going to be able to Confusion me down. And at this point, Nidoqueen is really going to have to do cleanup on the back two Mons. Down goes the Gallade. Out comes the Ampharos. It farms me down even more. It gets a really nice farm there. But once again, Nidoqueen is able to resist all this damage. Focus Blast does a nice little chunk, but because my Nidoqueen is a normal Nidoqueen, not Shadow, it definitely tanks the moves a little bit better. And I knew the Escavalier was energy dry, so I was going to be able to fast move it down. This battle is actually up against Panic23, another content creator on Twitch. So big shout out to Panic. Jellicent lead is very favorable for me, so I was assuming that he was going to swap out eventually. And into a Scrafty. Now, this matchup is so awkward for Nidoqueen, because in the Zero Shield, sometimes the Scrafty can actually flip this going straight foul play, which is just crazy to think about. And ideally, if you're the Nidoqueen, you want to try to set yourself up where you leave this matchup with energy. So I think I end up shielding this, yeah, because it was unlikely that he was going to bait. So I'm down a shield, but I still have switch advantage, and Mandibuzz is such a hard counter to the Jellicent that I'm feeling alright about that. I'm going to go straight for the Earth Power here. And it goes through. It ended up being a CMP tie because I remember all that energy that he farmed in the opening. He reveals Ice Beam, so there's no Bubble Beam. In the back is Alolan Ninetales, and it's a Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales. If it was Charm Alolan Ninetales, Typhlosion would also be resisting all these moves. But I thought that he might go for the big Dazzling Gleam right there, considering I only had one shield left. But really nice bait with the Weather Ball. Typhlosion is such a solid response to the Alolan Ninetales. There's the Dazzling Gleam right there. And actually, after the Weather Ball nerf, Dazzling Gleam might be more energy efficient now. I actually need to double check and look into that. But the Weather Ball nerf really hurts Pokemon like Alolan Ninetales and Politoed. That was a pretty crazy move right there. We both simultaneously swapped. I assumed that they were going to try to catch on their Jellicent. And that's exactly what happened. So I swapped at the same time. Able to snarl that down, and then I have energy for the Alolan Ninetales. I essentially just need to get to 2 Aerial Aces here, and I still have a Blast Burn stored, so definitely a solid scenario for me. Favorable alignment all the way through that, but shielding the Nidoqueen and getting a farm down and being able to dump energy on that Jellicent was pretty nice. Okay, a Lugia. Lugia is a really interesting pick in the Ultra Remix Cup, but Mandibuzz and Typhlosion both have solid play against it. Really nice catch by my opponent. They end up catching the Dark Pulse on a Poliwrath, man. Oh my gosh, that was such a nice play. I tried Poliwrath a little bit in Ultra Remix, and it was just not cutting it. So maybe let's see what this opponent ended up having. They led Lugia, and then they have Poliwrath, so that's a decent response to the Dark types. And they revealed Scald, so most likely they're running Scald Dynamic Punch. So I am staying in here because I know that my Typhlosion still has play against the Lugia because of that Shadow Claw damage. They bring out Lugia again, so I'm wondering if this person is like triple weak to Mandibuzz. I land a Dark Pulse. They do not shield. They're really trying to farm me down, but they end up having to throw energy here. Totally fine by me. At this point, I'm committed to a pretty hefty farm down with Typhlosion. I will commit both shields here if I have to. Oh man, I end up no shielding this first one, calling the Sky Attack. So now I will only have to commit 1 shield, which is pretty nice. There's the swap, and oh boy, Nidoqueen is really great at shutting down the Charmers. The Poison Jabs and the Poison Fangs just absolutely add up there. Okay, Nidoqueen in the lead. I actually prefer the Shadow Nidoqueen in the lead because these Dark Pulses do more damage. But this is kind of an awkward lead to play out, and I still haven't decided the best way that I like to play this out. I hate fully sacrificing my Mandibuzz, but I essentially need to land 2 Dark Pulses on this and then try to snipe it down with something. So I'm throwing 2 Snarls and then attempting the fast move denial because that's where alignment occurs. And if you are the 3-turn fast move user against a 2-turn fast move user, your option is you either for sure let 1 free turn go through or you attempt the denial. So most of the times I try to attempt the denial there. They have a Giratina Origin, which is a pretty good response to my Nidoqueen here. And they're also running Ominous Wind, so Mandibuzz is going to wall this off. But I still have their Nidoqueen to deal with, and I don't quite know what's in the back yet. They swap in the Nidoqueen. And I let this go. I was really hoping that I might survive that Poison Fang with the Sliver, but I'm still able to farm this thing down. And what is in the back? Okay, they end up having a Scrafty. Now this is really rough because my Shadow Claws are resisted and 1 Blast Burn does not KO. They can go straight for the Power Up Punch. I know that Solar Beam is going to do a little bit more damage than Blast Burn, so I'm trying to get to the Solar Beam here and hoping that that will hopefully be enough. Because I'm only going to get to 1 move. I'm not going to be able to get to 2 Blast Burns. And Solar Beam is not enough. The Scrafty survives. Unfortunate. So cool team by my opponent, Nidoqueen, and then 2 things in the back that are weak to Charm. Against the Alola Ninetales leads, I swap right into my Typhlosion, regardless of if it's Powder Snow or Charm. And typically it's met by a Jellicent, because Jellicent and Alola Ninetales is a very solid pairing. So I get a shield right off the bat, and my opponent was pretty slow to respond here. They throw Shadow Ball, not Bubble Beam, so maybe they don't have Bubble Beam. That's really good for me. Going straight for the Solar Beam here. I get the final shield. That's totally okay. Honestly, I could have went for Blast Burn because that would have put it in farm down range, and that arguably would have been the better play because they're definitely in Blast Burn range here. I wouldn't have had to expend all that energy, but I'm able to flip switch advantage, and I believe that they ended up having a Charm A9, so my Nidoqueen will be very solid against this. So Typhlosion is just putting on an absolute clinic against this team here. Landed a Blast Burn on the G-Fisk. I can safely bring out my Mandibuzz. I'm going to throw this Aerial Ace because I want to put it in range where 1 Poison Fang plus the Poison Jabs is enough damage to handle it. And that slight bit of chip damage with the Aerial Ace just makes this a little bit more comfortable. And that prevented them from getting to a charge move there, and we're able to take that game. Good game. Okay, Drapion. I've actually encountered a couple Drapions in the lead, and it's a really cool pick. I wish I had enough XL candies to make a Drapion, because it's definitely one of my most favorite picks in like Great League Remix formats. That Poison Sting and then Crunch and Sludge Bomb pairing is really solid. But you'll actually see in this matchup here, I'm going to play out the Zero Shield scenario and just throw these Aerial Aces. Because Mandibuzz, despite hitting for resisted damage with the fast move and only able to throw these terrible Aerial Aces, is actually still hanging with this Drapion pretty alright. People that lead Drapion are going to be weak to G-Fisk, so the issue here is that they might have a water type in the back. If there's a Politoed in the back, it's going to be very difficult to win this game. This team that I am running is double weak to water in the back. Typhlosion and Nidoqueen both share that weakness to water and ground as well. But G-Fisk in the back is definitely, you can handle that, especially if you get an energy advantage with Typhlosion. They bring out a Gyarados. And this is really sketchy for me. I know that I outpaced the Gyarados to these Poison Fangs. It essentially takes 12 turns for the Gyarados to get there, and it only takes for the Gyarados to get to the Aqua Tail, and it only takes 10 turns for my Nidoqueen to get to the Poison Fang. In the back is Escavalier, and this is really rough. This is where having Shadow Claw on Typhlosion is a little bit more unfortunate, because you don't have that same fast move pressure. So I am just trying to chip down this Escavalier to put it in the Shadow Claw down range and avoid getting hit by a Drill Run. But this Escavalier up a shield and up energy, gonna get hit by a Drill Run here. Potentially, if I had better IVs on my Typhlosion, I would have been able to tank this a little bit better, but I'm not going to be able to get to the Blast Burn to take out the Gyarados. Really nice play from my opponent, getting the energy advantage on their Escavalier. Shadow Nidoqueen in the lead once again, and I start a turn behind. I've been getting this a lot more frequently lately. This like one turn lag at the beginning where you just like end up missing a fast move. Super annoying, and I'm not sure what's causing it, but it's okay. So I'm letting all these moves go through, and they end up switching into their Scrafty. I was going to try to make a swap into one of my other Pokemon, but they ended up switching out first. And gonna throw this Poison Fang and then commit to trying to farm this all the way down. I feel like I've gone against some Scrafties that have like a breakpoint on their counter or something. Because getting hit by 2 foul plays from some Scrafties has almost KO'd my Nidoqueen before. I'm going to bait with Poison Fang here, and I end up getting a shield. That's really good for me. I'm just going to throw another Poison Fang right off the bat and get these guaranteed debuffs. I know that it was going to be no shielded, and it ended up being a CMP tie, and they went for Earth Power. Totally fine by me. Gonna bring out my Mandibuzz, tank this Poison Fang, and then I might blind swap into my Typhlosion. Yep, I want to farm this down. In the back is a Zangoose. Holy cow, that is a cool pick. And I just need to get to 2 Blast Burns here. I let the first Night Slash go through. There's no way they're going to close combat me there. Oh, I remember this game. Oh, I remember this game. So they get a Shadow Claw through right there. They get another Shadow Claw through. And my Typhlosion is very low. Out comes the Nidoqueen. Okay, never mind. I still end up winning that game. One of these games, because my opponent sneaks a fast move through, I end up losing. But it might be this one. We'll see. They swap Scrafty. I go straight into Nidoqueen. Mandibuzz onto Gliscor is very favorable for the Mandibuzz, because none of their charge moves are really going to be that effective. So yeah, I think this is the Scrafty right here that might have some sort of an attack breakpoint on their counter, because look how low my Nidoqueen is. It's almost in a range where one more foul play would have KO'd, so that did not allow me to commit to the farm down. I know that this Gliscor is going to get so much energy, so I'm just throwing these Poison Fangs as soon as possible. They end up throwing some energy here, which is good for me. I bring the Mandibuzz. In the back is a Charm, Alolan Ninetales. Typhlosion is just going to put an end to this. So I definitely had solid alignment throughout this, and I love that Typhlosion can just cleanly beat Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales is so strong, but being able to resist all of the moves from Alolan Ninetales is really, really solid. And really their only play there was to charm me all the way down, and there was just no way that that was going to happen. Ember, what a cool pick. So this thing is running Ember as the fast move. I'm going to throw the Aerial Ace because this will hit for super effective because of the fighting typing. I'm just going to swap right into my Typhlosion, and it is met with an Excadrill. Because Typhlosion is running Shadow Claw and the Ember is running Ember, I knew that I'd be hitting for neutral while they are hitting for resisted. And I get a shield with that Blast Burn. I'm not throwing here because I'm trying to sneak extra Shadow Claws through, and I was able to do that right there. Because I know that I do get outpaced by this Excadrill. But they let it go down, thank goodness. Out comes Machamp, holy crap. Well, thank goodness Nidoqueen walls off all this energy that Machamp is going to generate, but Typhlosion did a really good job burning both shields in that matchup. And right here, I catch the move on my Mandibuzz. It ends up being a Focus Blast. Oh my gosh. That did a lot of damage. I missed like so many bubbles on the Aerial Ace. I'd like to say that that was an intentional undercharge, but that was just me being really bad with my flying animation. But Nidoqueen is going to be able to clean up this back end here. Shadow Machamp is another very solid option in Ultra Remix that is non-XL, and it's just really, really good, and Nidoqueen shuts that down pretty well. Mandibuzz into Giratina, really solid lead here, especially if they don't have Dragon Pulse. Now the Escavalier safe swaps, these are tricky to deal with because I don't have Incinerate on Typhlosion. And if the Escavalier swaps in, they're going to have an energy advantage, and essentially they have the same pacing at getting to their drill run as it takes Typhlosion to get to the Blast Burn. So I can't swap into my Typhlosion until I have a shield advantage. And so I make that swap right there. I'm going to throw Blast Burn right here and see what they want to do. They let it go, and they bring in the Giratina once again. And having Shadow Claw here is very beneficial, able to hit for super effective damage on that Giratina. They let it go through. Because of the Dragon typing, the Blast Burn is resisted. They farmed up a lot, but Mandibuzz will be able to wall this off. I'm fully waiting out the clock here, and in the back is a Charm A9. Thank goodness it's Charm. If it was Powder Snow, oh my goodness, we would have a problem here, but Nidoqueen shuts this down pretty well, can shield once, farm all the way down, and then have energy stored for the Giratina. And in this scenario, no need to bait. I'm going to go straight for the Earth Power, because that forces my opponent to choose. They're either going to shield that or then not have a shield for the Dark Pulse. Venusaur. This team stomps all over Venusaur. And the fact that my opponent is staying in here leads me to believe that they might have something in the back that is weak to Mandibuzz. So that could be a Jellicent. And if that is the case, I kind of need to get out of this matchup. Yeah, I kind of need to get out of this matchup, because if the Jellicent gets an energy advantage, my Typhlosion's really going to struggle against that. But we don't quite know what they have in the back yet. So that is why I made that swap right there into my Typhlosion. It actually ended up being a Mewtwo. So Mewtwo was their Pokemon that was also weak to Mandibuzz, which is why they were staying in the opening. So I'm able to get to another Blast Burn here. This Armored Mewtwo will easily be able to survive it. But I get both shields. Holy cow. So I'm going to shield my Typhlosion. And get to this Blast Burn before the Mewtwo can get to another Side Strike. This is enough to take out the Mewtwo. Oh man, it is a Charmer in the back. I'm not able to get to another move there. That's fine. I just let it go down to guarantee that Nidoqueen is going to clean up here. Yeah, Nidoqueen is going to shut down that back line really well. Another Venusaur in the lead. And these games were actually back to back, which was pretty wild. Out comes Yveltal In Ultra League, really interesting pick here. Same typing as Mandibuzz, but you're running Gust and Dark Pulse and Focus Blast. Honestly, arguably a better moveset. You have less play against the Steel types with the fast move, but you do have the Focus Blast nuke for that. They go straight for the Focus Blast. Really nice play. I'm going to throw another Aerial Ace here. I'm staying in here because I know that I still have Typhlosion for that Venusaur. So, they end up surviving. I'm just going to snipe it down with Nidoqueen. And it's an Excadrill. Not great. I have to shield this up. And then I'm over farming just by one. Going to throw this Earth Power and see what they want to do. They let it go. They had to try to call a bait there. That was kind of their only play, and so I just went straight for the nuke and able to take that. Nidoqueen in the lead is always awkward. These are awkward to play out. And we got some weird like desync happening again. But I'm going to go straight for the Dark Pulses here. Again, I'm throwing 2 Snarls and then attempting the fast move denial right there because that's where alignment occurs. Another weird kind of visual bug there, but we both got a fast move through. And I'm going to need 3 Dark Pulses to take out this Nidoqueen. It's another Poison Fang here. I might even swap right here. Okay, in this particular scenario, I'm just letting my Mandibuzz go. Okay, I'm going to swap my Nidoqueen right here. I was going to lose the lead regardless. I no shield and actually end up correctly calling a Poison Fang. Out comes Jellicent, and it's a Bubble Jellicent. Oh my gosh, that is not good. It's a Bubble Jellicent. They're hitting for super effective damage. And this is just really, really tough for me. They also have Ice Beam. So I have to bring in my Typhlosion here and like attempt to farm this. Farm as much as possible and really hope they don't have Bubble Beam. Okay, they're running double nukes. And I am able to execute this farm. Their Nidoqueen. Okay, it's a Lugia. I'm overcapped on 100 energy here, so I need to throw. Gonna throw the Blast Burn right here. And I'm hitting for super effective damage with my Shadow Claws. I really need to get rid of this Lugia. Right there's my mistake. I thought that they might try to catch, so I didn't throw right when I got the Blast Burn. But that Dragon Tail damage that I took put me too low to be able to take out the Nidoqueen. Oh, good game. Well played by my opponents. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And feel free to check out my stream over on Twitch. I should be live here potentially relatively soon after you see this video, around 1 p.m. Pacific time. But I'll see you all later.